Hello, I'm Hal Ottaway with the Wichita Postcard Club, and it's time for another Postcard of the Week. I had a good friend who recently went to a high school reunion, and some of the people, his classmates, were aware that he's been involved in some of these or all of these videos that we've been making for the Wichita Postcard Club. And they brought him a whole box of postcards to look over. Well, the friend brought them home, and we went through them together here on our dining room table the other day. And I chose this particular one that I've made postcard of the week today, and I want to share it with you. I recognize what it was for several reasons, but here it is. It's titled at the bottom, Goddess of Liberty Tree. It's postally unused. There's no postmarked or any verbiage on the back of the card. It's a printed card, but I recognize what it was. The man in the lower left corner, all of these people are standing, men, women, and children. But the man in the lower left has white whiskers, kind of like me, only more of them. And that's Mr. Dinsmore, Solomon P. Dinsmore. He's the man who made all of this, called the Garden of Eden. And it's all in Lucas, Kansas. But let me step back a little bit and tell you that Mr. Dinsmore was born in Ohio in the 1840s. He served in the Civil War as a nurse for the Union troops. After the war, he came back, lived there in the state for a while. At some point, he married a lady who had been previously married, then adopted her two children, and they moved to Lucas, Kansas. They had a farm outside of Lucas, Kansas. Now, Lucas is kind of north and central of Wichita, and it's on Highway 18, a major east-west highway when you start looking for it on a map. But Mr. Dinsmore lived on the farm. Then he moved to town, and he built a home right there in town. They said it was within walking distance of the downtown area, the main street, and also it was within eyesight of the railroad station that went through there. But Mr. Dinsmore started building his home, and let me tell you that in this part of north central Kansas, there never were very many trees in the old days. And of course, after a while, and people burning firewood and so forth to heat homes and to cook with and so forth, a lot of the trees that were there in the beginning didn't last forever. And so one of the main building tools in that area was the limestone, the native limestone that was quarried or mined out of the earth. And you will see that a lot in the north central Kansas, used as fence posts. Well, Mr. Dinsmore thought, well, looky there, those fence posts kind of remind me of a log and a log cabin. And what he did was take those fence posts in a way and turned them the other way, horizontal. And he started building his home, the sides of it, with limestone fence posts and then filling in with concrete. A magnificent home, very different, very unusual. What is really the kicker is that all around the house, he developed this Garden of Eden that I spoke of earlier. And this postcard shows just one of the sculptures that he did in this Garden of Eden, the Goddess of Liberty tree. And you can see at the top, there's kind of I don't want to say a Statue of Liberty, but Miss Liberty in a way. And maybe there's, in an artistic sense, some of this coming down must have been roots, tree roots. There are lights up there, just lots of things. But this man was an artist, and this is what we call folk art today. It's a big deal. And, since it was made, so many of these sculptures were made of concrete, they have survived. They're still there to be seen and enjoyed today as one of the major tourist attractions in that part of Kansas, along with the Ball of Twine, remember? But that's in another town nearby. But this Garden of Eden is worthwhile going to see and to study and to learn about, and you'll come back with a good feeling about Solomon Dinsmore and his family. They made this Garden of Eden. They made up a little booklet telling about different pieces of sculpture. And really, even during his lifetime, he would give tours of the place and charging for it. And this was a source of income after he had left the farm and moved to downtown or in the town of Lucas. But it's an interesting card, one that I wanted to show you today. You'll notice that in the lower right corner, there's a crease. It's a corner crease. And that probably, well, I don't know for sure, but probably happened when this card was put into one of the old-time postcard albums. They had little slits in the pages, and you would, bend the card a little bit and get it tucked in that space. Well, in and out, and people, looking at the back of a card. On the back of this one, there was nothing. But some people might say, well, what's that? I don't know. And so they would say, well, maybe it tells on the back, and there's nothing on the back. It's plain. It does say postcard and has a stamp box, so that makes it official. This is an interesting card. It's a slice of Americana and Kansas history. And I welcome you to go to Lucas this summer, look it up online and Google it, and learn more about the Garden of Eden and Solomon Dinsmore. Well, that's it for this week, folks, and we'll hope and look forward to seeing you next week for another Postcard of the Week. Bye-bye.